Hello everybody, welcome back to Calmlands and the 200 horsepower challenge. After I left you guys um, last time, I decided to slow down time a bit and do some work. So I got the very large portion of this field plowed and it is now ready to seed. We're going to seed that in grass, I believe. I think we're going to seed all three of these sections in grass. And then up here, we're going to combine these two fields and create another grain field. So these will be ready to harvest tomorrow. That I also mowed and picked up the grass. So I got a lot done in March. Everything that was in the previous video and then everything I did after the previous video. So we are now ready to march into April. You see what I did there. And I thought that it might be an interesting experiment, and I'm going to slow down time because we're real close to getting to the end of the hour. We have a bunch of, well, not a bunch, but we have some goods over here in the BGA that are going to sell at the top of the hour. And I kind of want to do this all in one big chunk. So I looked at our silage and how much we have. And currently we have 135,000 liters of silage. We have 407,000 liters of grass. So total, if we add those two together, we get 543,000 liters of silage ultimately, if we just let this grass cook. And then we would have that much to sell. At the current price, that would get us $376,842. So almost $377,000. So the experiment that I want to do is I want to sleep. I'm going to turn time back up to normal, to 3. I'm going to sleep, and we're going to see if we make that much money. I think the silage that we have is going to cook overnight. It may not. We may still have grass left to create silage with tomorrow. But I think we can get a good ballpark as to whether our BGA is going to make us more money than we would make if we just sold the silage. So that's kind of the experiment that we're going to do without any sort of good controls or really good data. So it's just going to be kind of a let's see what we get and get a feeling for whether we're making more money with the BGA than without. So I'm going to raise that back up to 3 and I'm going to sleep. All right, so we ended up with 317,555. We had about 5,000. So let's see, do we have any silage left? That is the question. Yeah, we still have 266,000 liters of grass to turn into silage. So it's very clear that we're going to make more money with the BGA than we would make without it. So now we have 317,000 dollars with which to spend. We have a bunch of donuts, and I believe this field of sugar beets is ready to go. It is. So we're going to need to harvest those today. That's going to be our major focus. Harvest the sugar beets, because that's going to be a huge job. Also, we have weeds in our sorghum field up here. I did not spray when I planted, so I'm going to have to spray at some point before we harvest. We've got a couple of months until those are going to be ready, so I may not do that this month, but we're definitely going to get on the sugar beets. So the first thing we want to do is we have to cut the foliage off the top of the sugar beets. And to do that, we're going to look in potato technology, which, well, no, not there. We want to look down here in potato technology, and we will find this little gem right here. It is $23,000. It's 6 meters wide, and it will cut the foliage off the top of our sugar beets. If you look over here, it doesn't have a specific crop. It's just a halum topper. So we are going to go ahead and buy that since we can't lease it. And we're going to get going on cutting the halum off of our sugar beets. Well, I guess it just leaves the trailer hitch sticking out there. Oh no, there it goes. Very good. Okay. So we're going to lower this, we're going to turn it on, and we're going to hope that it tops sugar beets. And apparently it does not. Well, doggone it. I thought that it would. So we lost a little money on the deal. We're going to have to do this a little bit slower. So we're going to go ahead and sell that. Man, I thought that was going to work. And we lost a couple of grand on the deal. We'll be all right. Beat technology. Dang it. And that is a topper. It's only 3 meters wide, but it's what we got. I don't know what any of that means. So we'll go with standard. We're going to buy that. And now hopefully we can cut the tops off of these sugar beets. And then look at how we're going to actually harvest them. All right, now this ought to work. I see no reason for this not to work. That is, in fact, working. All right, I'm going to put a worker on this. And then we are going to look at harvesters. So, looking at harvesters, we really have two options. We can go with this. That's right at the top of our horsepower. It's 3 meters wide. It's got a 6 meter hopper on it, so we're not dumping sugar beets on the ground and then trying to pick them up with a bucket later. Or we can go, thank you, autosave. We could go with something, where is that other one? I've lost it. There it is. We could go with something like this, which is considerably cheaper. We're looking at $90,000 less. Also 3 meters wide, but it does not have a hopper. It's either going to dump them on the ground or it's going to dump them into a trailer that we're driving alongside. So this is kind of a tough choice for me, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend the money, go with the one that has the hopper. I think that's going to be, in the long run, the most efficient way to harvest our sugar beets. And then we're going to sell it all immediately after we're done with it, because we're not going to plant sugar beets anymore. And then I think we'll be all right. We'll get some of our money back. We'll get 80% of it back. So not too worried about the money. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to buy one of these guys. And I also want to buy a new trailer. Actually, I want to sell the trailer that we have. It's been a good trailer, but we really don't need it anymore. It's too small. We've outgrown it. So I'm going to sell that. And I'm going to use this excuse to buy my favorite trailer in the game because I like to use it. I don't know. I think we all have those tools that we love and that we use over and over and over again, and we don't always have a good explanation as to why. But this is just my favorite trailer in the game. I don't know why. It has a good capacity. We can configure it as a bale trailer or as animal transport, which we'll never use. But definitely as a bale trailer, we can hold a lot of pallets. This will stack pallets higher than most other trailers. So we can still get a lot on it. It's universal auto load, which, if I haven't said this by now, I'm going to use universal auto load. Life is just too short to do things that frustrate you on purpose. So I'm going to do what makes me have fun in the game. And I think we're going to go ahead and go with black on this one. Also, this one does side tip, which I really like in certain situations. And it's 24.5. It's not terribly expensive. We're going to go and buy that. And that means that this trailer that we just bought will hold 4 hoppers from our harvester. I don't know why the worker stopped. I wish he wouldn't. Oh, Lord. We'll come back and fix it. Oh, I'm having some worker issues. Sometimes they'll turn around and do 2 passes and then stop, and then other times they just do 1 pass and then stop. So, not sure what's going on with my workers. I know I should use course play. I don't have the time to practice using it. I don't have the time to figure out how it all works. So that doesn't get done. Alright, so that's the vast majority of this field topped. Still got a few little places to clean up before we can start harvesting. It's done a pretty good job. I don't know if you noticed, but in the midst of us paying a worker to top our sugar beets, we actually made some money. We made a few $1,000s, and that is the beauty of the BGA. We're going to make money every hour as long as it is processing some sort of good. I also realized that we probably need to make just a tad less money from the BGA and send our digestate over to the little farm product shed. It actually will make solid fertilizer from digestate. It's not a 1-to-1 transfer, but it's still a pretty good rate. And I believe that we can sell solid fertilizer and or just have it for our own use and save money by turning our digestate into solid fertilizer. It will go farther, either making us money or just allowing us free fertilizer to use. So we'll do that in just a bit. All right, we've finished that up. We're ready to start harvesting sugar beets. I'm going to go ahead and sell this because we'll never need it again. Let's see. Beet technology. Going to sell that. So yeah, we lost about 50% of its value. Well, that's just what we got to do. All right, so we are going to hook up the tractor to the beet harvester. Hopefully, we'll do a little better with our workers, because they were not doing a very good job. We'll see if they do a better job harvesting. I believe I unfolded it. All right, here we go. And we're harvesting sugar beets. I think we're getting all of the beets. Yes, yes we are. This is going to fill up pretty fast. I think we're going to get maybe 2.5 passes. I'm just waiting to see if it will actually turn around. Looks like it's going to. Or it's just going to back all the way. No, it's not. That's the one that always confuses me, is when they just try to back all the way down the field. Not sure where that comes from. Apparently something very exciting is going on in the backyard, so I'm going to let Bud out because he really wants to go. All right, Bud has been released, and so grass snakes in the backyard, beware. Bud's coming. He's gotten 2 of them this week. He is we think he's mostly Yorkshire Terrier with some Chihuahua thrown in. Not quite a Chorky, but he's mostly Yorkie, and he likes to catch creatures. Doesn't eat them, he just catches them and shakes them until they don't move anymore, which is a very terrier thing to do. Okay, so we're going to need to empty this soon, but I don't really want to stop it too much. So we're going to buy another vehicle. Now, I could buy another tractor, but I think that would be very, very expensive. So we're going to go over here to trucks. There are no actual trucks on the list that fall within our horsepower guidelines. So we're going to buy a Unimog, which is one of my favorite vehicles in the entire game. We're going to take that down to without platform. Actually, no, I want to do the floor cutout. And then we are going to get the horsepower as high as we can legally. That's too much. So we're going back to 163. We are going with big tires, big and wide tires, actually. No really extras except for we're going to do front and rear hydraulics. And we're going to have this in, I think, ultramarine blue. That should kind of match our tractor. I'm going to do the rest of these in black if we can. I guess that's as black as it will go. All right, that looks pretty good to me. Looks like a very useful vehicle. So, and it's only $38,000, so we're buying that. Our harvester is full. So let's see if we can find the Unimog. This vehicle does great off-road, and it has a top speed of 47 miles an hour, which makes it the fastest vehicle we own. So we should be able to empty that several more times. All right, we're 88% full. We're going to go ahead and tip this. I was going to do a time lapse of the entire process, but the worker backs halfway up the field before it drives forward to turn around, and then it drives forward about halfway through the field and then backs up to start its pass. So it spends a lot more time turning around than it does actually harvesting anything. I think what we're going to do is just tip this, and then I will bring you back when I'm finally done harvesting the sugar beets, and we'll get a total. All right, that's the sugar beet harvest. It didn't take quite as long as I thought it was going to. We've tipped about 63,000 liters into the sugar factory. I'm just going to turn all of this into sugar, I've decided. And we will we'll probably for the next few months turn our open air gardens to potatoes and have the BGA use potatoes. There are a couple of different productions that will use potatoes and sugar beets to make silage, so I may look for one of those as well. We'll see. So we ended up with, we've probably already used up a few thousand liters just making sugar. So we ended up with probably about 75,000 liters of sugar beets. And I gotta say, totally not worth it. For the amount of time that it took to produce them and the amount of effort that it took to harvest them, and the amount of money that we had to spend in order to do that efficiently, I just don't think it was worth it. So we're going to go ahead and sell this sugar beet equipment because we will never, ever, ever use it again. And Bud is unanimous in that. So I decided to try out the Unimog, and it plows pretty good. It's a little slow. Yeah, 6 miles an hour top speed, but not terrible. This will do nicely while we do something else. We do need to add some water to our herbicide production, because I don't know if we have any herbicide, and I do need to spray for weeds at some point. I may need to wait until next month until I've produced enough herbicide to actually spray. And turn the corner and dump. All right, I'm pretty sure we still have enough stone in there. Let's see. Of course, it's all the way at the bottom. Oh, no, I guess we're out of stones. Oh, we don't need stones, we need road salt, which we have plenty of. So we're making herbicide again. We're not currently making solid fertilizer, which we should probably start doing. So I am going to go ahead and let's see, incoming digestate. Yes. I'm going to turn on solid fertilizer here. Solid fertilizer from digestate. So for 2,000 liters of digestate, we get 1,500 liters of solid fertilizer, which is great. It's virtually free. So let's go back up to our BGA. And we are going to come over and distribute digestate. So we'll make a little less cash, but we'll save money in the long run on fertilizer. Now, is that... That's got to be herbicide. Yes, that is herbicide. So we do have enough to spray our weeds, so let's go ahead and do that. It's nice to have two vehicles that can work at the same time. Boy, that makes a huge difference. We got this tiny little strip here. I'm going to turn on my help menu, and we are going to... Whoops, that's not it. Oh, I was pressing the wrong button. That happens. All right. So now we can turn on the sprayer and spray this last little bit. For some reason, the workers always want to use the widest width, no matter. Even if I started the worker right now, he would automatically switch it to the widest width. I'm not sure why that is. Not sure why I can't set the width and have the worker use it. You'll also notice that I've turned off course play. I was having an issue where the worker would do one pass and stop at the end. And then I could turn it around and start it again, and the worker would do one pass and then stop at the end. I don't think that's an issue with course play. I think it's some sort of mod conflict. I have far too many mods installed, and so searching for a mod conflict can become kind of difficult. So I just turned off course play, and that seemed to fix the issue. Again, I'm not saying that course play was the cause of it. I'm just saying that the solution for me right now was to turn off course play. You kind of look at mods and you say, okay, well, that one is used by thousands of people without complaint. And like course play, that's one of that's a great mod. It's a very complex mod, and it works really well for a whole lot of people. So I'm assuming it was a different mod that was conflicting with course play, and that's what caused the issues. All right, so we've taken care of our weed problem. I'm going to hop over in the Unimog again and clean up these few areas up here that didn't get plowed. So the Unimog is not fast at plowing, but it plows. And if we can do two things at once, then we are going to save time. And speaking of time, we're out of it. We still have a lot of work left to do and still a lot of daylight. So the next episode, we're still going to stay in April and get it all done. But for today, that's about it. If you like this video, I sure would appreciate a thumbs up or a subscription. If you did not like this video, please post a comment and tell me why. Either way, thanks so much for being here. I'll see you next time.